craft is presented in partnership with Kawartha Lakes Public Library and Kawartha Lakes Pride. Today we're going to make pride planters. So this program is called Grow with Pride. To make this craft you will need a flower pot. Doesn't matter what size, just keep in mind the bigger it is, the more tissue paper you'll have to use. You want some tissue paper that you can shred up. The more colorful the better, of course. You'll need some glue and then somewhere to put the glue. I just put it on the plate, and then it's more easy to put my paintbrush in it. So then, of course, a paintbrush. And then you'll also need some soil and a seed that you can grow, maybe of your favorite flower or vegetable. So let's get started. First things first, you need to shred up the tissue paper. So you can either cut it, or I just ripped it into little pieces, about that big, and that's what we're going to use to put on our flower pot. Doesn't matter what color you have. If you have white, it might stand out a bit better with the tissue paper, but I've got brown and it's going to look fantastic. So now I'm just going to get started. You just need to put a little bit of glue on your paintbrush, spread it over some of the pot, maybe not the whole thing. And then we're just going to stick our tissue paper on. And it's okay if some pieces stick out. I've got a trick at the end that's going to make them all smooth and it's going to look beautiful. So I'm just going to keep going and add my tissue paper until I'm all done. And now for the final piece. Maybe one more. Okay, so there is my planter. Now I mentioned before that there's some pieces that might stick out a little bit. So the trick for that is to go back with your glue and just sort of cover the whole thing nice and gently because it's still a bit wet. Just to kind of get some of those pieces that are still sticking up. Don't worry if the glue clumps a little bit. It will dry clear as long as you use white school glue. Now you'll notice too that I brought an extra piece of paper to put down on the desk just because I didn't want to make a mess on it. So that might be an extra material that you want to consider doing as well. Okay, looking great so far. Loving all the colors. Almost done. Okay, what do you think? I think it's going to look amazing when it's dry. Now generally here you would like to, or you should, leave it to dry completely, but because I want to show you the whole video at once, I'm going to go to the next step and add my soil very carefully. So again, usually leave this to dry for at least a couple hours, maybe overnight, and that'll make it a little easier to put the soil in for the next step. So we are pretending that mine is dry, and now I get to add my plant. So I've got some soil here. I'm just going to dump some of that in. And then I'm going to get my seed. So I'm growing a bean plant here. What are you going to try to grow at home? I thought about doing a sunflower too, or a zinnia, because I really like those flowers. I'm going to plant that, put a little more dirt on top. Oh, a lot more dirt on top. And there we have it. So now, does anyone know what a plant needs in order to grow? I can think of two things at least. One thing I can think of is sun. So I'm going to go and put this in a sunny windowsill so that it can get some sun and grow. The next thing I'm going to do is water it. Just a little bit, just so it can get some moisture in there, and then I cannot wait to watch my plant grow in my beautiful Pride planter. I hope you enjoy doing the same thing at home. Thank you so much for watching this video. And thank you to Kawartha Lakes Pride for allowing us to do this program with you.